Okay, now this might work, but now I'm afraid that it might be off. Is the audio off now? And can you hear me now, but the audio is off? Still no audio. Okay, so now it looks like you guys can hear me, but is the audio working? Is it synced up to my voice or no? Good? Everything's good? Okay. Um, it is out of sync. Okay, some people are saying it's out of sync. Yeah, it's synced. It's because of out of sync. Okay. It looks like this is the best I'm going to be able to do for tonight. There is some big issue with the software. Yeah, way out of sync. Damn it. All right. Yeah, it's a second back. Unfortunately, I don't know if I can fix that through the Hangouts app. Sorry, guys. I had to use old school technology just to get on the air tonight because it is having nothing but issues all today. So, yeah, 2 weeks to the wedding. Man, it's like a 3-second delay. Should I keep going like this, guys? Let me know in the comment section down below. Should I keep going like this, or should we just restart? I've already restarted my computer. It's not that. There's a really big issue with the software that I typically use and Hangouts. Now there's an issue with my contact. All right, so sorry for the audio sync delay. I will try to fix the issue that the software is having and everything. Just want to do this video for you guys. Again, this is like my 10th time doing it. I even have to split how I look at you guys and how I see the chat. So again, I apologize. I really do. I'm sorry. I just didn't want to miss another week. As you know, last week was my 30th birthday. And I had a great time. But it was bachelor party weekend, all that kind of stuff. So I missed a week, and I didn't want to miss another week. So let's go over the topics that I had planned for today. The first one is my thoughts on the iPhone 7. So I wrote a bunch of notes down. So I was impressed by the water resistance, right? The water resistance was something that I was really curious about. And I had long over said that if Apple was going to make this work, it needed to have the water resistance. So they did. And now they are going to have the water resistance built in. So I think that's a really big thing for Apple to have that. And I think it's definitely the highest selling point of the iPhone 7, to be honest. I think that's by far the highest selling point. Now, in terms of the zoom feature, which is, I think, another big one, I think the 2X is very minimalistic. I mean, you're talking about literally a few steps forward to get the difference of regular to 2X. So, sorry, my contact is really out of whack. Just wanted to fix that. So I think that's a big thing. I think it's funny that they're having that they did copy Samsung in terms of the AirPods to have a sort of style of what I currently have, which is earbuds that just fit in. And here's the difference: these won't fall out because they're pressing against my the inner part of my ear. However, the AirPods are just kind of sticking out, and I feel like those are going to fall out a lot more easily. So I kind of say, oh, so what Apple did is kind of make like AirPods and Power Beats, but separately, whereas Samsung kind of joined them. So that was my big thing on the AirPods. We knew they were getting rid of the headphone jack. If you honestly didn't think they were getting rid of the headphone jack, well, you got a rude awakening, because we knew it was going to happen. A lot of the stuff we knew was going to happen, actually. Everything that I had told you guys that would happen ended up happening. I do give them credit for one other thing, though, too, and that is, so I have selective focus on my phone, right? That blurs out the background and makes the close-up really good and clean and in focus. I've done that for a while now. I've loved those shots, but what they're doing is they're going to bring that with a software update to the front camera. That is very smart, and something that I still don't have on my phone, for instance, and something that Samsung should include, and all manufacturers really should include that on their devices. So that is one thing I will give props to the iPhone for. Now, for those of you who hadn't heard, though, Apple is not expecting to sell as many because they don't have enough to produce. Now, there's two reasons for this. One, we know that Apple will not be announcing their first weekend launch numbers for the first time ever. They already said they will not be announcing how many they sell opening weekend. Now, why would you do this? Because you're not selling as many, so investors won't start leaving your stock, right? So that's the big thing about it. So that's the main thing of why they're doing it. Now, what is the reason behind that? Well, the reason behind that is this guy, the Note 7. See, Samsung makes a lot of Apple's parts, but Samsung for the past couple weeks has halted all production on iPhone parts and are in full swing for their Note 7 parts. So since Samsung is busy making Note 7s, they're not making iPhone 7 parts, which means Apple is really backed up. Some carriers are from November all the way till December before you're getting some of those models. But plain and simple, you're not getting it this month. You're not even getting it in a month's time. And unfortunately, Apple users, you have no one but Samsung to blame, unfortunately, right now, because of all the issues Samsung's having. That's what's going on right now in your world. And the reason you can't get an iPhone 7 perhaps at launch, because stores are going to have less inventory as well. See, stores, say that might have had 50 in stock, might have 20 in stock, 25 in stock. There's going to be a huge shortage in terms of Apple inventory because of Samsung. What's that old saying? All ships sink with a rising tide. All ships raise up with the rising tide. So yeah, that's the issue issue that we are going to see with the iPhone, actually. I do want to give a good call out too to the Apple Watch Series 2. The biggest thing that definitely impressed me was how deep in the water it can go. 30 meters. That is very impressive. So good on Apple for that. That's a really impressive submersion. 50 meters is huge. So definitely impressed by that. All right. Now, let me see if this works. I'm still going to try to do... Yes, this still kind of works. Again, guys, I'm using a combination of my old software and new software right now, so I wasn't sure if that split screen was going to work, but it looks like it does. So the other bit of news we have this week is the Gear S3 was announced. So you have the Classic and the Frontier. They're both due out in October for the US. Now, that could change depending on where you live. But they're both due out in October, and we're expecting the variants to be $350 for the Bluetooth model and $399 for the Frontier one. Overall, I am really liking the look of the Frontier. They do have the new Gorilla Glass SR Plus, which is just a good style of Gorilla Glass, just so you can see. In terms of scratch resistance, it is right up there with Sapphire and way beyond Gorilla Glass 4 or 5. And in terms of thickness and thinness, it is extremely thin while still being very durable. So that's obviously a good ability. And the bigger part is it can be a lot brighter. You can get light through there more easily than things like Sapphire. So really good overall in terms of its being able to see the screen, as well as you're going to be able to have a huge scratch resistance, more scratch resistance than Gorilla Glass 4 or 5 currently have, and right there next to Sapphire. Now, in terms of specs, these are the different ones. So you can see you have the Frontier and the Classic here. And overall, I'm liking it. It's a 22 standard band, which means I can't use my current band on the new one. But I really do like the Frontier. I think that's the one I'm going to go with. And I like it's a bigger watch face. So I'm definitely happy with it. I'm definitely excited to get it. Although I will say this, I don't feel like it's too much of an upgrade, but the battery life is what I'm really looking forward to. And of course, the fact that I will have full Samsung Pay on my wrist is definitely a plus. Now, there was a lot of talk about the Mario coming to Apple, but guess what? It's already confirmed that it will be coming to Android as well. And since it won't be coming to Apple till the end of this year, you can expect it to come to Android most likely in the month after or quickly following that. But it is safe to say that yes, Super Mario Run will be coming to Android as well, and that has already been confirmed. So I know a lot of people were wondering about that. Is Android going to get it? And yes, it's already been confirmed that Android will. Now, in other news, we have a couple of phone-related news. And one of them is the S8 is tipped to have a dual lens camera. Now, we knew this was coming. One, it's just definitely with zoom, it's the best thing a dual camera can do. I'm just hoping that Samsung does more than a 2x. Even a 3x would be so much better. 3x makes a big difference. I don't care if I have a bigger camera hump if I can zoom. If I can zoom, I'll take a little bit more of a camera hump. Let me know what you guys think, though. I really want a 3x zoom would be something that would be great for a small, thin camera to have. I think it would be really good. Also, this would have a 8-megapixel selfie taker, which would be a bump up from Samsung currently only having a 5, and with Apple having a 7. So this will be a good bump up for Samsung to have. And then finally, we get pictures once again for the Pixel and Pixel XL from Google. This is the phones that HTC will be launching, and it looks like we might just have an announcement date, and that is October 4th. October 4th looks like it to be the date when we will see the next Pixel and Pixel XL come out. I, for one, am definitely happy about this. I really want to see what a Nexus is. The only thing that sucks about it is I will be on vacation during this time. I'm going to be on a cruise ship during this time on my honeymoon, so that will really suck if I miss it, but I will definitely get it and have it when I come back. And I'm just very curious to see what HTC and Google can come up with. All right, and then the last bit of news, Samsung has patented a smartphone that is running Android and Windows at the same time. Now, this has never come to fruition. We've never had Android and Windows at the same time. There's been many failed attempts, but never a successful one. So I'm definitely curious to see if we will have this ability for the next iteration. So that's just something that I'm curious to see if we will get. All right. Now that we went through the news, let's get to your questions. Again, hopefully this latency isn't too annoying. I will definitely try to fix it for next week's, but there's definitely some issues on this overall. All right, let's take a look at the questions that we have here. I have an S6 Straight Talk wireless. Can I root and get Marshmallow on it, or do I have to wait for the Straight Talk update? So you would have to normally wait for the Straight Talk update. You can root it and get Marshmallow, but then you're going to have to keep rooting and keep updating it. So just be aware of that. Weren't they switching the whole Hangouts on air to YouTube changeover this week? Yeah, so that's what's curious, right? My YouTube live stream was not working. yet my Hangouts is, and yet they're supposed to be getting rid of Hangouts on air. So I don't know what's going on. It's definitely some issues that YouTube is having with live stream right now. And apparently I just happen to pick the best day. You look like NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. I have gotten Joey before for the NSYNC thing when I had spiky hair back in the day. All right. Happy birthday. Thank you. You are an old man now. I am 30 now. Oh, that sucks. iPhone 7s or Note 8. Well, it'll be not called the iPhone 7s. Remember, next year's will be called the iPhone X. So the iPhone X versus the Note 8, man, is that going to be a competition because Apple is bringing it next year. Because Samsung did so poorly on the Note 7 this year, I'm leaning towards Apple. It really is an interesting fact, right? A lot of people, I'm assuming, feel that way. I, for one, do still have 2 Note 7s, and of course, I've had no issues, as well as the rest of my family. The rest of my family, my brother, my mom, and my fiance all have Note 7s, and none of them have had any issues. Now, have I been worried at all? A little, but there is less than 1% of the 2.5 million phones that Samsung made. Less than 1% had the ability to have this battery issue because they really were from one factory. Out of all their factories that make batteries, it was one factory that did it bad. And the thing I'm reminding everyone is don't forget, Samsung makes some of Apple's batteries as well. So for those of you who are like, oh man, I'm gonna go to Apple and not have this issue, they get the batteries from the same place. So just saying. Stereo speakers, water resistant, better camera. Stereo speakers is really cool, although Apple hasn't really revealed how that, so here's how the stereo speakers work. Yes, you have 2 speakers on the bottom, but this part is supposed to be a 3rd speaker at the top, kind of like how HTC does it, is what we're imagining. But until we see the first iPhones and see how the audio is, we're not sure of how it's going to be. Apple said the Jet Black will scratch easily, very easily. The Jet Black, Apple has literally said you should get a case for it because it's going to scratch. So I think that's really interesting. Better camera, better chip, same thing every year, still the same phone, pretty much. They look like Q-tips hanging out of the ear. No, actually, you know the best thing, what the Apple AirPods look like? They look like toothbrush tips. If you have seen like the mechanical spin toothbrush tips, they look exactly like that. That's the hilarious part. I think they're ugly, to be honest. I really don't like the way the AirPods look. I think Apple made a misstep when it comes to those, and I think they will make a much better looking version next year and upsell people who were foolish enough to get the AirPods. iPhone 7 is better than the Note 7. Well, it's kind of hard to tell that. We don't have the iPhone 7 in the studio yet. So we're going to have to compare battery life, camera. We're going to have to compare everything it is between those two. So yeah, we have to wait and see. Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Evolution. Yeah, my birthday was really good. I had a lot of fun. Hope you did too. I'm sorry for Samsung. Note 7 has turned out to be a big problem. It really has. The Note 7 definitely had a lot of issues and issues they just didn't expect, to be honest. I mean, again, they had 2.5 million sold in the first 2 weeks. So you would have expected them, if they didn't have these issues, they could have been at 4 million already easily. So it really sucks. Are you shutting your Note 7 off? No, I'm still using my Note 7 as a daily driver. However, I will say this, for any of you that do have a Note 7 out right now and have not turned it in, use wireless charging. Out of the 39 issues that have come up, all of them have been through plug-in charging. None of them have been through wireless charging. So I definitely recommend using wireless charging if you have a Note 7. I hate how Apple Watch looks like the first Apple Watch. Yeah, there's no design change really at all when it comes to that. last Android Weekly was a disaster. Hope that doesn't happen again. Yeah, I hope this doesn't happen again. I'm going to get to the bottom of what the issue was, but I just wanted to get out there and get this video out for you guys. Thinking that when I return it, might want to get the V20 if it's out. I don't know. To be honest, the V20 didn't really impress me. It's just kind of like the V10 from last year, all manual controls, and that's about it. It really doesn't offer anything great. I mean, the camera's the same. There's nothing besides manual controls, and audio recording is by far the best on it. But yeah, that's about it. Will the Note 8 have Gorilla Glass 6? Gorilla Glass tends to come out every 2 years, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm using the Note 7 right now, not shutting it off. Everything I charge up with my Note 5 says Samsung Plus has stopped. What could the problem be? Try uninstalling Samsung Plus and then reinstalling it, or disable it entirely and see if it keeps coming up. If that doesn't work, turn off your phone and turn it back on into safe mode and see if that works. Did you hear the Tab S3 rumors? Yeah, I've heard the Tab S3 rumors, but we still haven't gotten any tablet from Samsung, which was very weird. I feel like we should have gotten one by now. Happy belated birthday. Thank you very much. Which display level should I have to get a good battery life? I recommend 80%. I do not recommend using automatic because that drains your battery more than it helps you. So I never use an auto display. I would say 80% is a good way to go. I have to return my Note 7. What phone do you think would be a good phone for a loaner until the Note 7 arrives? Definitely the S7 Edge. That is the #1 loaner I would recommend for the Note 7. You get pretty much the same exact phone without the pen and a little bit of the UI change improvements. LG V20 or iPhone 7 Plus? It's hard to tell. I mean, right now, off of specs, I think the iPhone 7 Plus has the V20 beat. I mean, the V20, honestly, I was a little disappointed by it, at least as of right now. We'll see if we get anything better in reviews. But as of right now, I was a little disappointed with the V20, to be honest. I'm looking more forward to like the Pixel XL, and I think that's going to do a better job than the V20. The V20 is just the camera isn't that good to me, and I'm not interested. I mean, they already dropped their modular, thing. It's all about manual controls, and most people do not use manual controls. Nothing is wrong with my Note 7 either. Ricky, I'm thinking about getting a Gear S3. Only problem is when I try it on with the large wristband, I have to put on at least one third-party band. Do you suggest? I got like a metal band for mine. I mean, you can get any band you want. The beauty of the Gear S2 and Gear S3 Classic and Frontier is that you can literally go into any watch store and just ask them, what 22mm bands do you have? And you have a whole selection. Whoa, a lot of questions just came up. Were the emails answered? No, unfortunately, because of all these issues I had to try to get the live stream, and I know it's out of sync, but this is the best I could do on short notice. We were not going to be able to do the lives to answer the emails. I'll try to get to more next week. Hopefully, we'll be able to have it without any issues next week. I have a viewer who's going blind. She wants to know, is there a setting on her Samsung phone she can improve the display for her? I mean, go into easy mode. That definitely helps out. And check out accessibility on the settings. And that offers a lot of helpfulness in terms of inverting the color so you can see it more easily, as well as being able to have font bigger, magnifier, and just a lot of helpful things for people that can't see at all even. Is the iPhone 7 cheaper than the Note 7? The iPhone 7 Plus, I believe, is the same price as the Note 7, or it might be like $30 cheaper, maybe, or $20 cheaper, depending on your carrier. Are you buying the iPhone 7? We're getting the iPhone 7 Plus. I'm not sure yet if we're going to get the iPhone 7 as well. Should I trade in my Note 7 since it came out that it has been blowing up when charging? I have even used third-party chargers, and manufacturer's warranty cover it. I mean, look, with this whole thing about the Note 7, I would recommend anyone, even though I'm not doing it, I would recommend anyone if you feel paranoid about it, or if you're not paranoid but justified. I mean, if you feel that you're worried about your Note 7, then yeah, absolutely exchange it for an S7 Edge on the meantime, and Samsung should be getting the Note 7s in before the end of the month. So especially in the US, I know they expedited it. So in the US, I mean, you should start seeing Note 7s in stores as of this week. Should I upgrade my S6 to a Note 7? Note 7 won't be available, I believe, for new users until October, just because they're all inventory is going for people that are exchanging the phone right now. Is the iPhone? Oh yeah, answer that question. Do you know the difference between? So these are two different versions. I mean, the second one's definitely AT&T. I'm not sure about the first one, but they're just two different variants, it looks like, of a similar phone. Oh, so these are the Note 4. So it looks like the A is unlocked and the AT&T is the AT&T specific version for the phones that you sent. Whoa, sorry. Oh, there they are. When is the Note 7 coming out again? Again, before the end of this month. Any idea when the Gear S is going to hit stores? In October. No idea when, though. You think Beats by Dre will be making completely wireless earbuds? That would be awesome. They don't have completely wireless earbuds. They have two different new wireless ones. A new version of the Power Beats ones, which have the string in the back. And then they just announced their new, I forget what they call them, but they're like, they're calling them a new solo ones, but they're actually like tones. So they rest on your neck and then you put them up to your ear like this. So they just announced those after the announcement. So they announced those as well. Does your Note 7 overheat when charging? No, it does not overheat at all. I know someone, has the Gear S2 Classic and they use Samsung Pay, but I have a standalone and I don't have it. Will my watch have Samsung Pay? It also depends on the country you're from. If it is in the US or a country that does already have the Samsung Pay beta, it just could mean that the beta is already gone through, and maybe if you didn't select to join in at a certain time, that beta is no longer available for you to use. So that's definitely a possibility. I have a Flash Note 5, and will I still get the S Pen update when it comes out? You will probably have to manually update your Note 5 in order to get that update. There was news about Samsung will deactivate all Note 7s. No, Samsung could do that, but they will not, because that is a privacy issue. Samsung keeps sending me emails, but I would flip out if they cut the cord on us. Yeah, again, that won't happen. Hi, when is the Note 7 coming out again? Again, it will be coming out this month. Will that Mario game be safe to download, like privacy-wise? Yeah, I would trust Nintendo. I don't fear Nintendo as much as I would like Xbox or something like that. Is the LG V20 dead in the water? The reason I asked is because of the timing of their announcement. They didn't announce the release date or price. The LG V20 is coming out the weekend of my wedding, actually. It is coming out the 23rd of September. So this Friday will be the iPhone 7 launch, and the LG V20 will be coming out the 23rd of September. So that's when the LG V20 is coming out. They did announce it at the event. I hear on a podcast driving home, the Note 7 not returned by said date will be deactivated by carriers. Is this true? I have not heard. I have heard of the rumor, but I've not heard of anything credible yet. Again, so I would say no. Did you know that Chris Evans only has a 6-movie contract in Marvel and Avengers? Infinity Part 1 is his final movie as Captain America. I believe Chris Evans will update that contract, so I would not worry about it. Remember, Robert Downey Jr. was even supposed to do the first Avengers on his original contract. So yeah, I do believe that Captain America will completely live. And no, I think the things about his demise are greatly over-exaggerated. Why do you think the Note 7 didn't come with PowerPoint? Mine did. Mine came with Word, PowerPoint, Excel, but I guess it depends on the carrier you have. But mine did have it on there. I have 4 Android devices, but have been curious about iPhone. Do you think it's worth it? And which one should I get? I think if you go with iPhone, definitely the Plus is the much better one to go for right now if you want to try it out. Did you know you got featured in Watch Mojo for one of the best tech reviewers? I did. I actually reposted that when it happened because I do watch Mojo a lot. So yeah, I saw that I was posted as an honorable mention for the top 10 tech reviewers. So I still say I'm in the top 15 now because there was 15 total. So yeah. Is there a way to access the voice over LTE setting on the Note 7? If so, how? The only way I see makes it possible is to download Nova Launcher. That is a very good way of doing it. I have not yet looked into that just because I haven't wanted to mess around with the settings too much on the Note 7, just in case not to jinx anything. Besides, the Note 7 for T-Mobile definitely needs a update for software glitches. Although I haven't had any issues, my brother and my mom have. My fiance hasn't. Best phone of 2016, still too early to tell. What are carriers? I live in Europe. Carriers are basically your cell phone provider for service. So I'm assuming in Europe still you have certain providers. Like you guys have, I think, T-Mobile in certain parts of Europe. Also, maybe not AT&T, I believe, too. I'm not sure if it goes by a different name. I think Verizon is Valdaphone or something like that out there. But these are different companies that provide you the service you have on your phone. So, yeah. Do you think Samsung will still sell Note 7 after all the problems? Oh, yeah, they're going to sell the Note 7 because people don't even want to give their Note 7 up. So many people just don't want to give their Note 7 up because it's a great phone. So, yeah, they're still going to keep selling it. S7 Edge versus Note 7. I still will say that the Note 7 is the better overall phone, especially once it gets replaced by the better one. How will a person know when they exchange the Note 7 that the new Note 7 isn't going to be exploded? Will the box be marked that they fixed the battery issue? Yes, the boxes are marked. Carriers know which ones are the new marked ones. So yes, all new boxes will be marked so that they will not be the same. It was literally one factory that had about 50 phones that came out with battery cell issues, and 39 of those 50 have been reported. So you literally had less than 1% of all Note 7s having this issue. So although it might seem like a lot of them, for 39 out of 2.5 million, isn't that bad. It's not good no matter what, but it's not, extreme. It's not like half or anything along those lines. There are some rumors that the next iPhone will have VR like Samsung. iPhones will go all out next year, so we'll have to see what they do. Do you think Apple will make future Beat headphones and earphones proprietary to their own devices? I think you're going to see Beats connect through Lightning cable this year already. I think the new Beats, one of the new Beats they announced, do connect through Lightning. Is the battery the only thing different on the new Note 7? Yes, the battery will be the only thing different on the new Note 7. Even all the current Note 7s that are going to be sent back, they're just going to swap out the battery because that's the only thing wrong with them. Apple can't sell the new iPhone because of Samsung. Whoops. Yeah. Thoughts on the PS4 Pro? I know you're a big PS4 fan. I am a big PS4 fan. I have been debating, though, if I'm going to get the PS4 Pro just because I have a 4K TV, but I do not have an HDR 4K TV. So I do not know if it's really worth it for me to get it at this point right now. And I will say I am very disappointed in Sony for not making it in a 4K Blu-ray player. I think that's a big misstep for Sony, and I think that's going to bite them when Project Scorpio comes out for Xbox. I am even considering getting an Xbox One S, not for the console, but just for a 4K Blu-ray player. So yeah, I'm very curious to see how this will all pan out. But I'm surprised that Sony will not do a 4K Blu-ray player, I must say. Now, again, I'm mainly going digital now on all my purchases, so maybe that's what they're thinking, is that everyone else is also going digital. But it's nothing like a movie like Star Wars or a movie like Civil War. I would buy a 4K Blu-ray for if I had a 4K Blu-ray player instead of buying just the digital version. How will we know the difference between the old Note 7 and the new Note 7? Again, there will be a sticker on the box that will tell you this is a new Note 7, so you won't have any issues. Do you think I should wait for the Huawei 7P Google's tablet or get the Samsung Note tablet? Well, neither has been announced yet, right? We did not get a new Note tablet from Samsung, and we have not gotten the Huawei 7P. I love the Nexus 7 when it was out, so I did love those 7-inch tablets. So with the quality of Huawei behind it, I'm very excited for it, to be honest. But we'll have to wait and see. On your Instagram, you have a pic of a dual port Samsung car charger. When will it be up for sale? Wait, a dual port Samsung car charger on my Instagram? Oh, I mean, there was one. There definitely was one. Samsung has it on their website, but I don't remember posting it on my Instagram, but I definitely have seen it. Ricky, do you already see scratches on your Note 7? No, neither one of my Note 7s have any scratches on them. I think those scratch things were honestly over-exaggerated. But to be fair, I take very good care of my phones. Very good care of my phones. So I will always specify that. Again, I would be very, very interested to see if Samsung would ever deactivate current phones. I just don't see it happening, but who knows? Xbox Project Scorpio is going to destroy PS4. It could definitely graphics performance, but then again, PS4 was destroying Xbox for over 2 years now, I think. So in terms of graphics, PS4 has been the standard. The question is can Xbox get developers to develop for their games first? If you don't know, this is how cross-platform games have worked since the PS4 and Xbox One came out. They make it for PS4, then they port that for Xbox. So that's why all games run better on PS4 than on Xbox. That's not a possibility. That's fact. That's what happens on these cross-platform games. So can Xbox get developers to change that around and then first develop for Project Scorpio, then port over to PS4 Pro? If Xbox can do that, they'll have my attention. Will LG V20 be affected by the iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus announcement? Yes, I have told you guys that for over a month, that LG should have moved their announcement date. They should have moved their launch date. They should have launched in October. Yes, they would have gone against the Nexus phone, but that's a whole lot different compared to going against the iPhone. It was just stupid. That's all it is. It's really stupid. Yes, my voice is mismatching. I am using Hangouts, which is definitely outdated and is not equipped to everything I have software-wise here. So that's why you are seeing a big misdirection with the voice and syncing this time around, unfortunately. Yeah, I know my audio is out of sync. If you weren't here at the beginning of the show, we didn't get to live stream on time. We had a lot of issues today, and just a lot of issues. So that's why everything is mismatching, because I'm having to use older software with newer camera, and it's causing a lot of issues. So I do apologize for that. What are your thoughts on airlines banning Note 7 being used or charged? I think Note 7 being used is a little foolish because they don't know how this is happening. Note 7 being charged is understandable. My brother's getting an Xbox One S. Is there any way I can convince him to get a PS4? I mean, right now, PlayStation still has a better selection of games right now. So, I mean, and here's the thing with Xbox One S. If you have a good computer, everything you can play on the Xbox, you can just play on your computer. So that's my thing. I have a custom built computer that can perform way better than an Xbox One. Hell, it can perform better than Project Scorpio will be able to. But that being said, that's why I don't need an Xbox One, because everything I can do is just going to be right there. Yeah. In my time with the Note 7, I've experienced app crashing, and the phone itself crashed a couple times and shut down. Could this be because the phone was new, or possible issues? It could just be you got a defective phone, to be honest. I had an issue with my first Note 7. I do have a second Note 7, and it literally just crashed every time that I wanted to download YouTube videos, and I let Samsung support know about it. You can follow the Twitter feed that me and Samsung support had back and forth, and I end up replacing it, and I haven't had any issues with my new one that I've had for about a week and a half now. But yeah. Sorry, my contacts. I need some eye drops. So should I buy the iPhone X next year because it'll be a great phone? The iPhone X next year will be a great phone. We'll have to wait and see, though, what it has. What happened with the USB Type-C on the Note 7? What do you recommend buying, a Note 5 or a Note 7? I still think the Note 7 will be great once it's fixed. I mean, it is a far superior phone to more than half the phones out there on the market right now by far. I've been looking at smartwatches to buy for some time. I'm thinking about the Gear S3, the Moto 360 third generation, or the new Asus, and possibly blocks. Should I wait for November or be looking now? I would wait till October to see if there's any new announcements. The new Asus is my favorite Android Wear one, and I'm definitely, of course, curious about the Gear S3, which will probably be my next main smartwatch. When does the Gear S3 release date? Is it worth getting over the Gear S2? For me, I love the idea of having a bigger watch, so that alone will be worth it to me. But definitely also having full Samsung Pay is also going to be another thing that I really like. And plus, I have a connected version, so I will definitely like having LTE instead of 3G. Ricky, have you watched Sully? It's an amazing movie. Me and my fiance were going to watch it today, but we spent almost the entire day setting up and going over everything we have for the wedding, for the reception. So that took up our day. What kind of beverages do you drink during your live show? Usually coffee is my go-to drink. Good. Um, on my Gear S2, I have an option to tap and pay. No install payments. You have to install the Samsung Pay beta through the Gear app. So you cannot do it without the phone. What's your favorite game of all time? Mine is oh, got it. That's a great racing game. My favorite game. Hmm. My favorite game of all time. It's hard, right? Because I love for fighting games. I love the three main ones. I love Tekken. I love Street Fighter. I love Mortal Kombat. For RPGs, Final Fantasy 7 and 10 will always hold a special place in my heart, along with Mario RPG, amazing game. Racing party games, love the Mario Party games, love Mario Karts. Just great time with friends and family. But yeah, I don't know which one I would say is my favorite game of all time. Metal Gear Solid, the first one was an amazing one. So yeah, I'm not sure. Do I love leather? Not particularly. I mean, I like this nice chair. But no, I don't particularly love. Yeah, that. Um, Not sure if you talked about this or are going Hasselblad mode, but I heard several negative things about it. About what? Oh, Hasselblad mod. I haven't heard about this. Let me see. The mod for the Moto Z. I already returned my Moto Zs, unfortunately. But yeah, so far it got really negative reviews, so I would probably have not been that impressed by the camera. I love the idea and the concept, and I think the proof of concept is great, but obviously did not make it well for that. Um, Did you have fun at your party? Wink, wink. I had a lot of fun. Did not do anything that would stop my marriage, though. What do you think Samsung will release the S8 and SH Edge? I think Samsung will release the S8 probably in February. 2017 is going to be a great year. Xbox, Scorpio, Galaxy X, and iPhone X. Yep, we're going to get all three of them next year. Ricky, will Apple make a new iPad? Typically, iPads come in November for Apple, and it's announced at the end of October. So we will see if they stick to their regular time. Do you know if any of the Note 7s catch fire while fast wireless charging? No Note 7s caught fire while wirelessly charging. When will Samsung fix the Note 7 battery? When do you think they will launch it to the public? Again, they will. It will be done before the end of this month. Um, did you hear about Project? No. I see. No, I hadn't heard about this. The problem with this is this is an Indiegogo phone, which means that by the time this comes out, it will be outdated. Especially with the phone, I've honestly had such bad luck with Indiegogo and Kickstarter. Like, I don't know, there's been a lot of disappointments on that end for me. I feel like 7.1 has been hiding a lot of software features, designs, and renders. Want to know your thoughts? Of the Pixel. Of the Pixel, I'm very interested to see what the Pixel will offer. But yeah, I can't wait to see what it has in store for us. Sean, I cannot. We had a very tight guest list, and a lot of people aren't going, so I can't. Remember, the LG V20 will be shipped with Android N. I think that will help to ship more phones, even though they're getting squeezed between Samsung and Apple. Honestly, the V20 coming with that won't matter once the Nexuses are announced 2 weeks after the LG V20 comes out. Just got my new internet fiber, 300 megabits down. What ping do you usually get? I usually get. Oh, I'm not sure the ping actually. I usually get 75 up and down though, so I got pretty good internet. Not as good as you right now, but pretty good. All right. All right, guys. I will call that a show. Sorry again for all the issues that we had today. Sorry for it being out of sync and just all these crappy issues that we had today. Hopefully, we will not have them next week. I'm going to definitely look into everything that had an issue today. Thank you as always for watching. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.